Please welcome my friend Beyonce.
Good deal around. Come to our house because
you get up in the morning, you click on the computer.
Is to keep God first.
The same pain in the psychology of her.
Been singing the songs and knowing the words and hearing the accent.
You like the accents?
With their parents as well as the parents with their kids.
Is the serious one, the mother of the group, the one who try to get everybody in line. My advice is to keep God first. That's the main thing. Keep God first. We go to church every Sunday together, and I think that's what gives this group the bond that we have. Please keep God first. And that's when I started performing at Walmarts and you know, wherever we could perform. We didn't become professional until we got a record deal around 12 years old.
So who wanted to do this, you or your parents?
Absolutely me. Once I saw Jackson 5 and Michael Jackson, I'm like, oh my God. The second I got on the stage, I just opened up and I became this whole other person on the stage, and I wanted to do it every day, all day.
Vulnerable and more closer to who I really am, and that's why it's named I Am. And then the other half is Sasha Fierce, who was basically who you guys saw.
She's in that position back there.
She is,
yeah,
yes.
That's her.
That's who y'all saw singing Single Ladies.
Over there.
It's very different from who I really am. And I think people expect me to be more like Sasha Fierce when they meet me. So this is really more of an introduction to me. You know, I know when I was speaking with you during the commercial, you really like Flaws and All, and those type of songs I love to sing more than the up-tempo. So
really?
Yeah, I do. So I was able to do what I really wanted to do, but still give the fans what they want.
Yeah.
Just landed in Africa. I was blessed to be able to relive some of the experiences that I've been very fortunate to have over the years with my entire family. We come from this land. We share the same blood, and that spirit is unmatched. It's a force from within that I feel best through the rhythm and vibrations of the African sounds. That feeling of belonging, the feeling of knowing where you come from, that's what I want for my children. What does the cat do? What does the cow do? The cow.
The sassy center of the supergroup Destiny's Child. She's now on the verge of solo superstardom with the release of Dangerously in Love, currently the #1 CD in the country. Dad's her manager and Mom's her stylist. Sister Solange is an up-and-coming singer herself, and even Kelly Rowland, another third of the Destiny's Child trio, has lived with the Knowles family for more than a decade.
I was supposed to come and stay over to the house for one summer, but one summer turned into 11 years.
Really?
Yeah.
But at 21, as she prepares to leave the nest and step out on her own, Beyonce makes it clear it's not by coincidence she's where she is. It's, well, destiny.
I've been born to do this. I want to be a triple threat. You know, I'm able to dance, sing, act, and also write and produce. The second and third one over, and that's very rare. They want to say it's because of the sexy clothes or it's because of, you know, whatever else. No, it's because I'm talented, and I just want to be acknowledged for that.
Wow, okay.
Still, the path to divadom didn't necessarily seem paved from birth, at least not to her parents, Matthew and Tina. Beyonce was kind of a shy and awkward.
I wanted to even the physicalities are very different. I don't walk or talk anything like the character. And the best part was being able to say all the profanity because I don't curse.
So that was fun for you?
Oh, yes, it was so much
Get
fun.
all that out of you?
I could get it all out.
Yeah.
I had an excuse. My mother and father couldn't visit the set. They were like, no, I don't know who this is. We can't see this. It's crazy. But it was fun.
Well, who's that called? Do you have it now? Now you
That's
have a third
Etta.
one.
That's
Etta. All right. But that's more impressive that you're not anything like that, and you were able to capture a different walk and a different feel and embody that
album.
I was heading to church, and then I got a call that, oh, so your flight is booked. I'm like, what? And I was a little tensed up when I got here. I was like, is this real? Funny enough, I saw people that had worked with in Africa. I saw Tio Savage. I saw PTJ from London, Bankole from Nigeria was there too. When I saw these people, I was like, okay, you know, this feels like home a little bit.
Grandma. I remember when we went to Ghana, we had these albums just on loop when we were playing football with all the kids and that. Remember?
What song were you playing?
It was, okay, so remember this one, Grandma? Remember this one I've been playing? Do you know what album this was from?
You go to Ghana Web songs.
Ghana Web songs.
Ghana Web. When you go there, you can, or you go to YouTube, Ghana Music.
Okay.
From start of the week to the weekend, I know they have for a call now.
Is that one vocal?
This is just one vocal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you good.
It still sounds normal, like
Yeah.
It didn't sound like it's playing.
Yeah. It's calm.
We wanted to make sure we really captured the essence of the dance culture and
me. Oh my God, without the God and the XY, I'm afraid the whole game will be colonized. The marathon will be televised for NIP. Cause true kings don't die, we multiply. Peace.
Okay.
he started rapping. I'm like, okay, and this melody, dun, 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 it just, that repetition came to my head. And we just went back and forth, and it just sparked.
I'm so unbothered. Y'all be so pressed while I'm raising daughters, sons of empires. Y'all make me chuckle, stay in your struggle. Crystal blue water, pina colada in. You stay Ramada in. My baby father, bloodline Rwanda. Why would you try me? Why would you bother? I am Beyoncé, Giselle Knowles-Carter. I am the Nala, sister Naruba, Oshun Queen Sheba. I am the mother, I'm on my gold chain. I saw my whole chain. I be like soul food. I am a whole mood.
We get back to the rhythm. Meet me down by the river. We get meet me down by the river. We can dance to the rhythm. The sun is high and the water is dry.
Hey, yeah, yeah, hey, yeah, hey, yeah, yeah, hey, yeah, yeah.
Touch on something that's so real, but also in a way that makes you dance and feel free and liberated. And when I thought about the perfect person to collaborate with, it was Pharrell.
We can dance.
The women of Kenya carry on the cultural legacy of beading through their hands, their community, and music. There was so much soul and tradition in the way they create stories with beads.
To the blacks, and it's a lot.
And now, with her new album, she's hoping to adorn the room with a few more.
The #1 video, Big Booty Bouncer Beyonce.
Beyonce co-wrote and co-produced some 43 tracks and narrowed it down to 15. But writing her own material is not uncharted territory.
You wrote Survivor when you were going through a tough time. You wrote Bootylicious when you couldn't stop eating.
Yeah, right? Right.
Personal experiences.
There's a song on my album, Me, Myself, and I, and it talks about a girl who is in a relationship and she kind of always knew in the back of her mind that this guy was wrong. And it's kind of like a celebration of the breakup because she knows that her instincts will never disappoint her.
So who was that about?
Well, that was about a time in my life when I was with a guy that was wrong.
Yeah. But these days, there's all kinds of speculation about whether she's found Mr. Right. Rumor has it, Beyonce's even bought a house on Millionaires Row in Miami with rapper Jay-Z.
I just want to cut to the chase,
It's all
Beyonce.
right.
And I know you say, I don't talk about my personal life, because if I did, I wouldn't have one. But can't you just at least tell me if you have a boyfriend, for crying out loud? I'm not going to ask if he's a good kisser or, you know, what you've done together, anything like that. But, I mean, are you dating anyone?
You already know my...
Right now, happening.
Since coming, I'm like, you're lying, there's no way. He showed up, he had his leotard, his pumps, and his robe, and he opened it up and just let it all hang out. I'm like, okay, Justin.
I know. I mean, just the leotard alone, but and those kitten heels. And
the kitten heels.
Oh, he told me that his ankles were so sore the next day.
They were. But why are his legs like more beautiful than any woman?
I know. I know. They're really, and it seems like he shaves. It does.
It does.
I think they didn't look hairy at all.
They didn't. They were very smooth.
No. Oh, God, that's hilarious. All right, and now, because with your spare time, you decided to do a clothing line as well, right?
Yes, because my mother, of course, in the beginning, did all of our hair, and she would design all of our costumes, and our fans would say, can we get clothes? We want to, you know, look like Destiny's Child. So instead of me just putting my name on the line, I wanted to really be involved, and my mother is so talented. So we partnered up, and we're doing a clothing line, and it's named after my grandmother because my grandmother used to be a seamstress, and she taught my mother how to sew. So it's
The ladies that go to war, they still have the women.
It's a celebration of power and not allowing anyone to get in your psyche and to make you feel like you're anything less than a king.
Begging for scraps.
What does Scar sound like, you know, outside of the traditional score? That jealousy, that envy, that darkness, that struggle. And just diving deep into the psychology of Scar and how he ended up being so angry and so bitter, and also feeling compassion for someone so dark and so angry. Respecting each character, understanding that they all have a place and it's all a part of the circle of life, and understanding how all of those life messages apply to my life and all of our lives. And that's why The Lion King will always be a classic.
Dark keys and stuff, and just come in with like.
Okay.
Okay, okay, yeah.
For the very first time, the melody that pulls you toward.
How do you know that that's true? How do you know that wasn't made up? It could be made up just like it was made up about me, because I've been judged, so I don't judge other people.
So should a lot of us listen to the song Happy Face and realize that's where you're coming from in many ways?
Yeah, Happy Face, definitely. I was really stressed because I was during the time where I heard so many rumors. And I woke up and the window was open and the sun just shined me in my eye, and it was the most beautiful day outside. And I said, I was crying all night, cried myself to sleep. That's when I realized, why am I sad about this? Why am I concentrating on these small people that believe this when there are millions of other people that don't? If not, we wouldn't have all these people at our concert screaming. I wouldn't have people sending all these fan letters. Why am I concentrating on this? There's way more positive things to concentrate on.
The fact that you talk openly about loving God, do you find you get stick from that, and do you find, what's wrong with these people? This is what we do. Is it like, or do you get stick?
Some people don't understand it. Some people don't understand, you know, especially here, they don't understand that Christianity is a way of life. It's not a way you dress, or it's not what you say, it's how you live your life and your personal relationship with God. And some people will think, you know, like I've gotten slack for acknowledging God for the gift of writing songs. And they say, if you write bootylicious, how can you thank God for that? And I don't feel like God wrote bootylicious, but I do feel like God gave me the gift to write songs, to connect.
Carmen's ain't easy in comparison.
Well, when I did Carmen, I was just as scared. Now that I look at it, it wasn't as much pressure. But then, no, it was, because it was my first time acting. And if I would have did a horrible job, I wouldn't have gotten Austin Powers, because Carmen is what got me Austin Powers. So it was what opened the doors for me. So it was very important. It doesn't matter what it is. When you start a new chapter in your life, everything is just scary. It's a good scariness, because it forces you to grow. My main thing is performing by myself. Like, I can't imagine that. That's why in our show a year ago, we started doing one song by ourselves, just so we can get comfortable with that, because we knew after the tour we would start individual projects. And all of us were horrified. We were all scared. We wanted to do it, but it's just scary. So we said, okay, maybe we should use this tour and each do a song by ourselves. And the first couple times, I forgot the words. And I did not have Kelly and Michelle on the stage to look at, because every night I forget the words to some song. And they weren't there, so I would have to make up new words or just some kind of way deal with it, which now I'm more comfortable. But you have to grow, and it is a scary thing.
Okay, but what about more acting? I mean, you've said, I think, somewhere in the past that you would like to do more and maybe get a bit raw and down and dirty next time around. Like, for instance, I don't know, maybe a Halle Berry kind of thing of like total emotions of Beyonce up there on the screen, as opposed to what you've done before. Is that what you would like to do next?
Yeah, I've always been a fan of Lady Sings the Blues and Mahogany.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's why I want to do that, because Diana Ross did such a great job. And she was so emotional and so dramatic, and I love that.
But that would really mess with your head over a period of 3 or 6 months. Would you be prepared for that? Like, you go, like Diana Ross took a few years to get out of that, you know?
I'm sure, I know, because even being Foxy Cleopatra or even being Carmen, it took me, and I was only Carmen for a month and a half. It took me about 3 months to get out of that. I was like doing things I wouldn't do. I was aggressive, and it was real strange. And Foxy, I'm just